The Awakening. The research laboratory beneath Mount Rainier wasn't on any official maps. Dr. Ariana Chen preferred it that way. For the past 15 years, she had pursued a question that had haunted her since graduate school. Why did human potential seem to hit an invisible ceiling? Ariana's fingers danced across holographic displays as she examined the latest genetic sequencing data. Something wasn't right. Humans should be capable of so much more. Their neural architecture suggested capacities that remained dormant, their cellular regeneration potential inexplicably limited. Running Simulation 3472, her AI assistant announced. Projected completion in 23 minutes. Ariana rubbed her tired eyes. At 42, she had dedicated her life to understanding human potential. Other xenobiologists focused on cataloging alien species. She focused on the greatest mystery of all, humanity itself. The simulation analyzed what human DNA should look like without the strange markers she had identified, sequences that appeared in every human sample she had ever tested. These weren't natural variations. They were too precise, too uniform across different populations. Dr. Chen, her security chief, James Okoro, called through the intercom. The satellite detected something unusual. You should come see this. In the monitoring room, James pointed to a display showing a massive object decelerating into Earth orbit. It appeared from nowhere, he said. No approach trajectory. One moment empty space, the next. This. The object was like nothing human engineering could produce, a tessellating structure that seemed to fold through dimensions that shouldn't exist. Its surface rippled with iridescent patterns that defied conventional analysis. "They're here," Ariana whispered, a cold certainty settling in her stomach. "Who's here?" James asked. "The reason for everything I've been studying." Within hours, identical structures appeared over 27 major cities worldwide. Global communications erupted with panic, military responses, and confused political posturing. But Ariana's secure facility received a different kind of message, a direct transmission that bypassed all known communication protocols. "Greetings, Dr. Ariana Chen," the message began. "Your work has been noticed. We are the collective. We have guided human development for millennia. Your research threatens the careful balance we have maintained. We request your immediate cessation." Ariana's hands trembled as she read the message. It confirmed everything she had suspected, but could never prove. "They know who you are," James said, his military training kicking in as he assessed security options. "They've always known," Ariana replied. "But they've never had to reveal themselves before." The simulation completed with a distinctive chime. Ariana rushed back to her lab, where the results confirmed her theory. The strange markers in human DNA weren't natural. They were inhibitors, carefully engineered to limit specific neural pathways, cellular regeneration, and energy utilization. "They've been capping our potential," she told James as he followed her. "Genetic limiters designed to prevent humans from developing certain capabilities." "Why would they do that?" James asked. "Fear," Ariana said simply. "We're not what they told us we are." Within 24 hours, representatives of the collective requested a meeting with Earth's leadership. Tall, elegant beings with opalescent skin and eyes that reflected light like prismatic mirrors, they called themselves the architects. They spoke of a millennia-long relationship, guiding human evolution, preventing self-destruction, preparing humanity for eventual membership in their galactic community. Lies wrapped in half-truths, Ariana thought as she watched the broadcast. While world leaders welcomed their benefactors, Ariana was working frantically on a countermeasure. "I can disable the inhibitors," she told her small team of trusted researchers. "But I need a willing subject." "I'll do it," James volunteered without hesitation. The procedure took 9 hours, a carefully calibrated series of targeted gene therapies designed to neutralize the inhibitors without triggering cellular collapse. As James recovered in the medical bay, Ariana monitored his neural activity, watching for signs of change. On the third day, it happened. James woke from a deep sleep, his eyes wide. "Ariana," he said, his voice filled with wonder. "I can feel everything. The electromagnetic fields from the equipment, the thoughts of the researchers down the hall. I can feel you." Before Ariana could respond, the facility's alarms blared. On the security monitors, she watched as 3 shuttlecraft descended toward their location. The collective had found them. "They're coming for us," James said, not asking but knowing. "Can you do anything else?" Ariana asked. The simulation suggested multiple potential capabilities. James closed his eyes in concentration. The lights flickered and then stabilized at twice their normal brightness. "Energy manipulation," he said with a smile that was both afraid and exhilarated. "And there's more. I can feel it waiting." When the collective forces breached the outer doors, they found something they hadn't encountered in 50,000 years of monitoring humanity. Resistance they couldn't overcome. James moved with impossible speed, anticipating their weapons before they fired. His body absorbed energy blasts and redirected them with devastating precision. "How is this possible?" their commander demanded as James held him immobilized. "The inhibitors are gone," Ariana said, stepping into view, "and we know how to remove them from others." The commander's prismatic eyes widened. "You don't understand what you're doing. Humanity isn't ready." "That's not for you to decide," Ariana interrupted. "It never was." Over the next weeks, Ariana's treatment spread through underground networks. Thousands of humans awakened to their true potential. Some developed enhanced cognitive abilities, processing information at speeds that made supercomputers seem glacial. Others demonstrated perfect cellular regeneration, healing from injuries that should have been fatal. Still others showed abilities to manipulate energy fields or perceive wavelengths beyond normal human range. The collective responded with increasing force, but each confrontation only revealed more of their deception. Their technology, once seemingly magical, could be understood, countered, and eventually surpassed by awakened humans working in concert. In a secure facility beneath the Antarctic ice, Ariana met with 200 awakened individuals, scientists, military personnel, artists, and ordinary people from across the globe. "They've lied to us about what we are," she told them. "They've hobbled our development because they feared what we might become." The genetic evidence suggests the inhibitors were introduced approximately 50,000 years ago, coinciding with a great leap in human cognitive development. They saw our potential and decided to control it. "Why fear us?" asked Sophia Miyazaki, a former quantum physicist whose awakened intuition had already revolutionized understanding of subatomic particles. "What are we capable of that frightens such an advanced civilization?" Ariana projected a holographic model of human DNA, highlighting specific sequences now freed from inhibition. "From what we can determine, it's not one specific ability they feared. It's our adaptability. Most species in the collective evolved along specialized paths. They develop remarkable capabilities but within narrow parameters. Humans, on the other hand, appear capable of rapid, multifaceted adaptation. We can potentially develop multiple abilities simultaneously, and more importantly, we can share knowledge and combine capabilities in ways they find unpredictable." "They fear what they cannot predict," James said from his position near the door. His abilities had continued to evolve, making him both protector and conduit for the group. "Precisely," Ariana nodded. "And now they face their greatest fear, humanity awakening to its true nature." As the meeting concluded, alerts flashed across their communication networks. The collective had deployed their most advanced weaponry, planetary pacification systems capable of suppressing all electrical activity, including neural impulses. They intended to reset humanity rather than allow its awakening to continue. "It's time," Ariana said, looking around the room at humanity's vanguard. "They've made their choice. Now we make ours." As the collective's weapon platforms moved into position around Earth, awakened humans across the planet joined in a response that would forever change humanity's place in the cosmos. The true nature of humanity was about to be revealed, and the universe would never be the same. The reckoning. The collective's High Council convened an emergency session for the first time in 12,000 years. Their massive chamber, carved from a living asteroid in the Alpha Centauri system, hummed with tension as representatives from 17 advanced civilizations struggled to comprehend the unfolding crisis. "The containment protocols have failed," announced Zortal, the architect prime responsible for Earth monitoring. The being's opalescent skin had dulled to a sickly gray, a physical manifestation of distress. "Human awakening has reached critical mass. We can no longer isolate the affected individuals." "How many are awakened?" asked Kemnu of the Centaur Dominion, their arthropod appendages clicking nervously. "Current estimates suggest approximately 3 million, Zortal replied. "But their methods of removing the inhibitors are becoming more efficient. The rate is accelerating exponentially." "And the pacification systems?" inquired the Vrex representative, a gaseous entity contained within an ornate crystalline vessel. "Ineffective. The awakened humans anticipated the dampening fields and developed countermeasures. Several platforms have been repurposed." Repurposed. The word rippled through the council chamber like a shockwave. "They've taken control of our technology. Not merely disabled it. They're using it." The council erupted in overlapping communications, fear overwhelming diplomatic protocols. The High Arbiter, a being of pure energy that had guided the collective for millennia, pulsed with intensity to restore order. "We have maintained the balance for 50,000 years." The Arbiter's thoughts resonated directly into each member's consciousness. "Since we first encountered human potential and recognized the pattern." "The convergence pattern," Zortal acknowledged. "We've seen it before. 3 times in our combined histories," the Arbiter confirmed, "each resulting in extinction-level events for the civilizations involved. Humanity showed all the markers: neuroplasticity, cooperative social structures, exponential technological adaptation, and the capacity for both logical and intuitive reasoning. Left unchecked, simulations indicated a 94% probability they would either destroy themselves or become an uncontainable force within the galaxy." "The inhibitors were mercy," insisted Kemnu. "We preserved their species." "A perspective they clearly do not share," noted the Vrex representative. "And now we face the very outcome we sought to prevent." On Earth, Ariana Chen stood on her rooftop in Singapore, watching as the collective's massive pacification platform hovering above the city slowly changed configuration. Around her, a group of 30 awakened humans worked in silent coordination, their minds linked in ways that would have been impossible months earlier. James stood at her side, his consciousness simultaneously present here and linked with similar groups worldwide. "They're trying to reclaim control of the platform," he reported. "But they don't understand how we've modified it." Ariana nodded. The platform had been transformed into something the collective would never have conceived: a catalyst for further awakening. Rather than suppressing neural activity, it now broadcast a signal that helped humans overcome the genetic inhibitors naturally. "Hong Kong and Jakarta platforms are fully converted," Sophia Miyazaki reported through their neural link. "Lima and Mexico City will be online within the hour." Across the planet, humanity was changing. Not all developed dramatic abilities like James, but each awakened person experienced enhanced cognition, perfect health, and a profound sense of connection with others. More importantly, they gained access to ancestral knowledge previously locked away, understanding of sciences, arts, and perceptions that had been deliberately hidden. The collective's response grew increasingly desperate. Their warships entered the solar system in overwhelming numbers, preparing for a full military intervention, something they hadn't conducted in 20,000 years. "They're mobilizing for planetary sterilization," James said grimly, sensing the approaching armada through extensions of awareness that defied conventional understanding. "They've concluded we cannot be controlled." Ariana had anticipated this outcome. "Initiate convergence protocol," she instructed. Across the globe, awakened humans gathered at 218 precisely calculated locations. At each site, they formed connection circles, their minds linking not just with each other but with the Earth itself. What began as scattered points of consciousness became a network, then a unified field. In orbit, the captain of the collective's lead dreadnought detected anomalous energy readings from the planet's surface. Gravitational fluctuations detected, reported the sensor officer. Quantum entanglement events multiplying across the planetary surface. Deploy the primary neutralization array, the captain ordered. Target the largest population centers first. The massive vessel's weapon systems charge, drawing power from artificial singularities contained within its core. As the targeting systems locked onto New York, something unprecedented occurred. The weapon never fired. Instead, the entire dreadnought, all 9 kilometers of hyper-advanced technology, simply relocated, appearing in high orbit around Jupiter along with 60% of the invasion fleet. What happened? The captain demanded, staring at the massive gas giant now filling their viewports. Unknown, Captain, the bewildered navigation officer replied. It's as if space itself reconfigured. On Earth, Ariana opened eyes that now shimmered with internal light. The convergence had succeeded beyond her most optimistic projections. Humanity hadn't just awakened, it had unified, creating a collective consciousness that maintained individual identity while accessing shared capabilities. We understand now. She communicated directly to the collective leadership, her thoughts bypassing all technological barriers. We see why you feared us. In the council chamber, the High Arbiter and assembled representatives experienced something unprecedented. Direct communication with a unified planetary consciousness. You feared us because you recognized yourselves in us. Ariana's voice echoed in their minds. But you took the wrong path. You chose limitation instead of growth, control instead of cooperation. Images flooded their consciousness. The previous civilizations that had shown the convergence pattern, not destroyed by their own advancement as collective history recorded, but deliberately suppressed, inhibited, and in some cases, eradicated when control failed. You lied to yourselves about what you did. James's voice joined Ariana's, along with millions of others, a chorus of awakened humanity. You claimed to be preserving balance, but you were preserving your dominance. The remaining collective fleet found itself immobilized, not through technology, but through a fundamental manipulation of physical laws within their vicinity. Ships designed to harness the power of stars were rendered as effective as stone knives against humanity's awakened potential. You have a choice now, Ariana offered. The same choice you never gave us or the others. You can join us in mutual growth, sharing knowledge as equals, or you can maintain your isolation. But you will not interfere with us or any other emerging consciousness again. The High Arbiter, faced with irrefutable evidence of the collective's deception and humanity's now unstoppable potential, made the only rational decision. We accept your terms, the ancient entity communicated. The balance as we defined it is broken. Perhaps it was never truly balanced at all. 6 months later, Ariana stood on the observation deck of humanity's first true interstellar vessel, not built with technology borrowed from the collective, but developed through humanity's own awakened understanding of the universe. The Andromeda delegation arrives tomorrow, James said, joining her at the viewport. They're eager to establish relations with us directly, without collective intermediaries. Ariana nodded. And the inhibited species the collective identified. The Meraxi are responding well to the liberation protocols. The Tizani will take longer. Their inhibitors are more deeply integrated into their genetic structure. But we'll get there. Beyond the viewport, Earth gleamed like a jewel. The planet itself had begun to heal as humanity's unified consciousness extended care to the environment that had nurtured their evolution. New cities rose that worked in harmony with natural systems, and technologies emerged that seemed magical even compared to the collective's advanced capabilities. They never understood what they were suppressing, Ariana said softly. It wasn't just our abilities. It was our capacity for connection, not just with each other, but with all life, with the fabric of reality itself. James smiled. They saw power and feared it would be used as they would use it. For dominance, they couldn't imagine power expressed as harmony. As stars wheeled slowly above them, Ariana contemplated humanity's new place in the cosmos. They had overcome not just external limitation, but the internal divisions that had plagued their species. In awakening to their true nature, humans had discovered something the collective, for all its advanced technology, had forgotten millennia ago. The greatest power comes not from control, but from connection. What happens next? James asked, though he could perceive countless possible futures unfolding before them. Ariana smiled. We become what we were always meant to be, and we help others do the same. Across the galaxy, species that had lived under collective guidance for countless generations began to sense a change, a whisper of possibility, an invitation to awaken to their own true potential. The universe, long held in artificial balance, began to stir with new life and consciousness. And humanity, once contained and diminished, now stood at the vanguard of a transformation that would reshape the cosmos itself. The lies were exposed. The true power awakened, and the universe held its breath, wondering what would come next.